Hey guys, you probably won't survive this without your jaw hitting the floor at least twice. So brace yourself. Today's story is one of those wait, did that just happen? Moments that might make you rethink how you see people entirely. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're at it, drop your city and current time in the comments because I love seeing where you're all tuning in from. The sun slants through the dusty windows of Roosevelt Middle School's advanced math class. That in-between kind of light that makes the dust motes look like slow-motion fireworks. Mr. Harold Whitman, half-bald, mustache twitching like it's trying to send Morse code, stand at the front, tapping a piece of chalk like he's about to announce the lottery numbers except the jackpot today is humiliation. His gaze locks on Marcus Johnson, the only black kid in the room, sitting in row 3, notebook still blank. You can almost hear the old classroom radiators sigh in anticipation. Today we separate the gifted from the extras, Whitman says, stretching the pause just long enough to make everyone shift uncomfortably. He turns to the board and starts scribbling a monstrous differential equationist functions, integrals, symbols that look like they escaped from physics convention. It's the kind of problem most college sophomores would fake a stomachache to avoid. Historians still argue whether he lifted it from a grad school exam or just Googled math nobody can solve. And then, with the smugness of a man who thinks he's holding all the cards, Whitman turns and says, "Marcus, why don't you give this a shot? Solve it in 20 minutes, and my yearly salary is yours." He laughs, an ugly sound that makes even the goldfish in the corner tank flinch. "That's $85,000, he adds, like he's revealing a secret treasure. Except the treasure chest is chained shut and he's swallowed the key. The class freezes. Sarah Chun, biting her lip. Tommy Rodriguez looking like he might leap over his desk. Marcus just sits there, eyes steady, and something flickers in them, not anger, not fear, but a kind of quiet, okay, game on. He stands, chair scraping like a cymbal crash in the tense silence, and takes the chalk. His first strokes are deliberate, breaking the beast apart into smaller, friendlier monsters. It's integration by parts here, substitution there, little breadcrumbs of logic that, if you know what you're looking at, start forming a trail out of the mathematical swamp. Whitman circles like a vulture, cracking little digs about false confidence. But Sarah notices this isn't random scribbling. This is a symphony, and Marcus is conducting it. Phones slide out under desks, little record buttons glowing. Because deep down, everyone senses they're watching something rare. A moment, the underdog decides the rules are optional. The chalk's soft scrape keeps tempo with the thudding heartbeat of the room. Marcus doesn't rush, works like someone who knows the path exists, even if the rest of them can't see it yet. Whitman, arms crossed, throws in another jab. "Did you pick that trick up in a movie?" and gets an answer that freezes him mid-smirk. The traditional approach won't work here because of the nested functions. You have to transform the equation first. For a beat, you could hear a pin drop. Even Sarah's pencil pauses mid-twirl. The class is suddenly caught between the smug certainty of their teacher and the cool precision of the kid, who's supposed to be out of his depth. It's like watching a chess match where one player just sacrificed their queen, and somehow it's still part of the plan. As Marcus builds the proof, Sarah can't help thinking of her sister at MIT, showing her similar techniques, except Marcus is doing it cleaner. Tommy, who wouldn't touch calculus with a 10-foot pole, sees the same focus Marcus has in chess matches and knows his friend isn't bluffing. The equation sprawls like some mad mural across the board, and even the kids who don't understand a lick of it feel the current shifting. Whitman finally sidles closer, eyes scanning for an error to pounce on. He doesn't find one. Instead, he stumbles over his own disbelief, and when he tries to pass it off as a lucky guess, the quiet cough of a chuckle ripples from the back row. That's when the classroom door opens, and in steps Principal Evelyn Carter, her presence alone enough to make the air sharper. She takes one look at the board, one at Marcus, and asks, "Would you like to explain what's happening?" Marcus keeps his voice steady, explaining the bet, the challenge, the deadline. Whitman tries to interrupt, calls it a disruption. Carter shuts him down with surgical politeness. How much time does he have left? 14 minutes. Tommy pipes up like an eager court stenographer. Carter stands where she can see every line. Marcus dives back in, tackling the nastiest part of recursive relationship that looks impossible until he pulls out fixed-point iteration like it's no big deal. Historians still argue whether this was the moment Whitman's face shifted from red to sheet white, but the room agrees on one thing. Whatever game he thought he was playing, Marcus just changed the rules. Phones keep rolling. The murmurs die. Whitman's mustache droops like it's given up. With 5 minutes to spare, Marcus circles the final answer, sets down the chalk, and turns. The silence has weight now. Carter breaks it. This is exceptional work. Then Marcus drops the reveal MIT professor mom, aerospace engineer dad, advanced math since he was 6. It's the academic version of pulling Excalibur from a stone, and Whitman's whole posture caves under the blow. The class isn't looking at him in amor theory, looking at Marcus like they just realized who they've been sitting next to all year. From there, the day tilts into free fall. Carter orders Whitman to call Marcus's parents, and when Dr. Amelia Johnson walks in calm suit, eyes like sharpened glass, you can practically hear the theme music from every courtroom drama ever made. She scans the board, nods at the fixed-point iteration, then turns on Whitman with the precision of a surgeon and the weight of a mother who's had enough. Marcus stays still while the room turns into a confessional. Tommy speaks up about Whitman's digs at him. Sarah recalls the affirmative action remark. Jennifer and David add their own slights. It's like the floodgates, open years of quiet prejudice spilling into daylight. Whitman tries to backpedal, but every step lands him deeper. Amelia pulls out her phone. Marcus has been documenting it all year. Screenshots, quotes, dates. She's not here for apologies. She's here for accountability. The board meeting that follows is standing room only. Former students line up like witnesses at a trial. Maria Rodriguez, who was told she'd never make it in engineering, now waving her MIT diploma. James Park, dismissed as good at repetition, casually mentioning his medical patent. Each story is another nail in the coffin of Whitman's credibility. Then comes Marcus's move no one sees coming, offering a path to redemption. Not a free pass, but a gauntlet. Bias training, community service, supervised tutoring in underfunded schools. It's like he solved a human equation: justice plus growth might equal change. Carter backs it. The board signs off, and Whitman accepts with the hollow look of a man who knows this is mercy he hasn't earned yet. Months later, Roosevelt's gym is unrecognizable. The possibility wall is covered with stories and achievements from kids who once kept their brilliance tucked away. Marcus stands by the framed equation, explaining to visitors that it's less about math and more about proof, the kind that says brilliance ignores skin tone. Even Whitman shows up, envelope in hand, 3 of his new students in tow. Turns out when you expect brilliance, he says, you tend to find it. Marcus shakes his hand. Thank you for learning. He replies just like that. No grand speech, no scoreboard. Because sometimes a real victory is making sure the next kid walks into a classroom and gets seen for who they are, not what someone assumes. The lights in the gym soften, the noise folding into a low hum of voices and laughter. The scholarship fund's total creeps higher. The possibility wall keeps growing. And Marcus, just 13 now, heads for basketball tryouts because being extraordinary doesn't mean giving up being a kid. The camera of your mind lingers on that gym, the varnished floor reflecting strings of soft light, the possibility wall glowing in a patchwork of colors and textures. You can almost hear the scuff of sneakers and the murmur of parents, the low hum of a space that has been remade not by bricks or paint, but by what people chose to see in each other. Marcus moves through the crowd like any other student, a backpack slung over one shoulder, his laugh blending into the soundscape. If you didn't know the story, you might miss him entirely, and maybe that's exactly the point. Outside, the late afternoon light has that golden warmth that makes edges softer, shadows longer. It falls through the wide-open doors, across the framed equation, catching in the chalk dust that still clings to it, like the last ghost of that day in the classroom. A few people pause there, reading the lines as if they might decode some secret, not realizing the real solution isn't in the symbol sits in the conversation sparked the assumptions challenged, the quiet choices to believe in someone. And if you listen closely, the building breathes differently now. It's in the way teachers linger a little longer with a struggling student, in the way kids raise their hands without glancing around first to see who might judge them. That's the lasting proof Marcus leaves behind, not just that he could solve the impossible, but that he could rewrite the conditions of the test entirely. So as you step back from the noise, let that image settle in your mind, the gym glowing softly, the walls still growing, the quiet boy who solved more than an equation. And remember, brilliance is everywhere if we're willing to look.